Bring it a blazing.
Hey, good morning, Jackson.
Morning.
Good to see you.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Is it okay if I put this right here?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Well, welcome to Charleston.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for joining me for this edition of Discover UC. So, we were at the University of Hartford together when you were at the Barney Business School. I was the dean there for 2016-17, and then I came here to the University of Charleston in 2018. So tell us about your experience being a student athlete at Hartford.
Yeah, it was amazing. It was absolutely incredible. I actually think that you spoke in front of me and my family and like a bunch of other students for like the business portion of of the like introduction. So that was really cool. It was amazing. I mean, we ended up winning the first ever conference championship at Hartford for baseball. And went to the NCAA tournament, played against Stetson. I ended up going to Stetson after transferring there.
Really?
Yeah. And it was incredible. Justin Blood, the head coach.
Sure.
Unbelievable guy. He moved on to Keene State, but just a really, really cool and really influential in my life to have him as a coach. So it was incredible.
So when you graduated, what were your plans? What were you expecting to do once you finished up college? And walk us through your journey to what you're doing today.
Yeah, so pretty hectic, pretty chaotic. I was actually applying to jobs before COVID. So this was about, I want to say, like 3 months before COVID hit. I was applying to jobs, and I got an offer from the Diamondbacks when I was playing in the Cape Cod League to play professionally after my junior year. And I called Coach Blood up and I said, hey, like I got this opportunity. I think I'm going to do it. And he goes, all right, you can do that or go back for your senior year and graduate, have a degree, and maybe get drafted next year. So I took that chance. COVID happened, shortened the draft from 40 rounds to 5 rounds, and was like, all right, I got to get a job. I have to figure out what I'm gonna do. So I went for interviews, and thank God I did not take any of them. Didn't take any of those jobs. Ended up transferring to Stetson, and that's when the social media thing came about.
Gotcha. Okay. That's an interesting journey, and just another example of how COVID has had an influence on our lives in so many different ways. So here we are in Charleston. The Savannah Bananas are in town. You're a part of this team. Charleston's going crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So tell us about what it's like to be part of the Savannah Bananas. What makes the Bananas experience so unique?
Yeah, it's incredible. It's incredible. And the fact that I didn't take those jobs lined me up to be on this team. Thank God. Again, like I said, it's been incredible. Also, Charleston, I think this might be the best fan base we've seen so far.
Wow.
Not kidding. If you look, I posted a story last night on Instagram of Country Roads, Take Me Home, that song. And the whole crowd was just singing it. And everything
100%.
that happened last night. And we see that at a lot of places now. And Bananas fans are just, they bring us the energy. We supply them with the energy, and it's just a back and forth, and that's why this whole thing works so well, because there's a back and forth. It's a big party every single night, and people are there to party.
Yeah. So we had a little bit of rain this morning, but it'll clear up. I think we won't have any problem with the game tonight. But let's say you were on the road, and unfortunately things get rained out. What are you and the team doing? What's the entourage doing when you kind of have that free night that you didn't expect?
So we have an entire script for rain. So
Really?
we have a script for our regular game, and obviously the gameplay is all real, but a script for different celebrations we're gonna do and different fun antics we're gonna do during the game. And then we have a rainout script. And so that rainout script is actually more fun than the actual script of a baseball game. So people, I think the first ever Bananas game, or one of the first ever Bananas games, got rained out, and not one person left the crowd the entire time.
Wow.
So that's why this whole thing, and Jesse Cole, the owner, just has this figured out. He has it figured out to the point where it doesn't matter what the variables are. He's gonna overcome them, and he's gonna figure it out, and we're gonna have an amazing time no matter what.
So tell me a little bit more about the role that you play as a influencer. That, in fact, that term may not be familiar to everybody. So in today's world, what is an influencer? What are some of the things that you're doing, and how do you add value to another organization's brand?
Yeah, that's great. So I think that being an influencer is not necessarily directly trying to influence people to do different things. And that's what people think, oh, on social media, okay, so people are just pushing out these different brands and that makes them an influencer, a fashion influencer, sports. But what I do is I make content that I love and it happens to influence people. So that's kind of what the whole thing is. You can't really try to get a point across. You have to be yourself and put out stories. And what I do a lot of the time is I'll sit down and think of, okay, how am I going to impact different people in my way of doing this? So I have comedy. I have sentimental stories about my family that I tell. Everything is a true story and everything is me. And it ends up influencing and impacting these people, and you see it in person and on social media. So it was always just me seeing comments that people were saying, oh, I love your content, I love all this. Now when we get to see that in person and all my teammates are seeing it in person, where people say those comments and we're like, we've been seeing this on social media for years and now it's real. So I think that's what being an influencer is.
Interesting. And what motivated you to kind of pursue that part of your professional and personal life?
Yeah, it just started out as being fun, and it's still fun, and that's it. And I have never, I mean, it's my job, and I do a lot of brand deals, and I work with a lot of companies and brands and go on trips to promote different products, but it's always all fun. And it's always about creative freedom too. So whenever I'm doing that deal, it has to come from me, and it has to be, yeah, I'm going to promote the company, but if it's not funny and silly and Jackson Olson, then it's not going to work.
Gotcha. It's got to be authentic.
Got to be.
All right. So it's not too long ago that you kind of were in college, graduated from college. So what are some things you'd like to share with our younger audience, thinking about those students who are getting ready to begin their college journey, those who are next week with us going to be graduating and kind of earned their degree? What words of wisdom or advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I would say take your time and don't be afraid to follow that dream that you might have. Even if it's not necessarily can be a job right away. I didn't think social media could be a job at all. I was doing it for fun because I loved it, and it was just very, very exciting for me, and it gave me energy. And that's the one thing is Jesse Cole, again, the owner of the Bananas, always says follow your energy. And wherever your energy is taking you, that's your dream. So that's the thing that I've kind of taken the last year and ran with it. And I'm like, I don't really have any goals. It's okay to not have a goal and not have a dream, but when you follow that energy, it's going to lead you to that dream. And my dream right now is playing for the Bananas. I didn't know that was a dream 2 years ago, but the energy led me there. So that's the advice that I would give everyone out there. Take your time and don't be afraid to follow that energy.
Well, good. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to ride around with me a little bit, and I'm excited to come down to the ballpark tonight and see the Savannah Bananas in action.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me.
All right.
Long time no see.
Great to see you, Jackson.
Good to see you.